There is a bizarre trend happening all over the NFL this year that I don't remember as a lifelong NFL fan happening in years past. And that trend is happening again right now with a couple key players who could truly make this offense explosive. And so we're going to break that down, why I think this is such a great matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, some more trade deadline talk, that and so much more in this video. If you are new to this channel, my name is Ben. I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan. And if you like the Broncos too, it helps me out and the algorithm out a lot if you would hit that like and subscribe button. I have this buddy who is obsessed with the stock market, and he looks at the charts every day, and he's able to like find these little dips and things in the chart, and he draws on them, and he's like, look, here's a wedge and spoon pattern. That means that in 3 days this is going to sell off and you should buy right now. And a lot of times when he finds those little trends and those little patterns, it plays out. Well, there is a trend and pattern happening in the NFL right now, which is a player who is about to be traded a lot of times ends up as an inactive or shows up on the injury report with some weird injury and does not play the week before they get traded. You saw that with Davante Adams, that he missed our game because of a hamstring injury and then was traded to the Jets. Well, he starts right away and never has an actual hamstring injury. We saw it again with the Carolina Panthers last week. Diontae Johnson out with an injury. Well, now he is suited up and he's going to be playing for Baltimore on Sunday. You saw it with Cam Robinson, the tackle who missed his game for the Jaguars and now is going to be starting on Sunday for the Vikings. So there are a couple players right now who I think would really add to this offense who mysteriously ended up on that injured list and will not be playing in games tomorrow. And let me know what you think about these players. Do you think they're going to be traded? And then what would you give up for them? So the players and who just mysteriously ended up on the injury report. First one is Adam Thielen. So you're talking a great sure-handed slot receiver. Obviously, we remember him from balling out of control with the Vikings for quite a while. He is an older player, a slot player. We know Sean Payton's offense. He likes different types of receivers. He likes those big-bodied receivers, but then he would love to have a slot player, and we don't really have this player right now on our team. In the preseason, we had Michael Bandy, who was balling out of control in the preseason, and we haven't seen him get any run this year in the regular season. We also know that during the preseason, before Adam Thielen signed with Carolina, Sean Payton was very interested, and there was rumors that he was going to end up here as one of the Denver Broncos receivers. So might Sean Payton make the move here at the trade deadline to go and get a slot receiver like Adam Thielen? You know, a couple years ago, we were one of the oldest teams in football. We are now one of the youngest teams in football. He doesn't necessarily fit our time frame for this thing. Like I think he might have 1.5 seasons left in this career, and you've probably seen the peak of what Adam Thielen can be, but at the same time, he could be a sure-handed guy that Sean Payton can count on. We know how upset Sean Payton was last week at the receivers, even saying, like, if we don't have receivers who can hang on to the ball, I'll go get more receivers. He literally said those words. Was that to light a fire behind Courtland Sutton and Lil Jordan Humphrey so that they don't drop the ball as much, or did he mean it? And so the first one is Adam Thielen. The second one is the one that is like, I would take a sick day and just make videos all day because I would be so hyped, and that is Tee Higgins with the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, you're talking about a type of player there who could truly take the top off of a defense. He would complement Courtland Sutton perfectly. So if you go from having, just Courtland Sutton and then a rookie in Vele and then Lil Jordan Humphreys, who was on the practice squad for a while and, most teams passed on, they could have got him off the practice squad. If you all of a sudden throw Tee Higgins into the mix, that is a wild thought for the Denver Broncos and what this truly could be. So what would you be willing to give up for each of these guys? Do you think that they are truly hurt, or is this just the teams are putting them there because they plan on shipping them off next year? Next week rather. There are other teams in the NFL who are in the market for a wide receiver. We saw reports today that the Chargers are window shopping right now. We know that Herbert needs targets as well. They shipped out Mike Williams. They shipped out Austin Eckler. They shipped out Keenan Allen, and that offense struggled to put points up against Arizona Cardinals a couple weeks. They didn't really seem to have an answer for our defense once we figured it out with Pat Surtain. So we might be competing with the Chargers for both of these dudes. But let me know, what would you be willing to give up for either of those? Drop it in the comments. So looking at what the national pundits are saying right now about the Denver Broncos, they are saying that they would be surprised to see us make a move, buying or selling. That they, Diana Rossini, who pretty plugged in. Typically, she's got like her batting average is pretty high, although she also was the person who said that the Rams were moving on from Cooper Kupp, and then both the coach and player denied that. So maybe she's making all of this up as well. But she essentially, in this article on The Athletic, said she would be very surprised if we bought or we sold. I think this week, if we go out and we play like we know we can play as Denver Broncos fans, we know the rest of the NFL doubts us and doesn't believe in us. But if we play a competitive game and get the win, which I think is going to happen, or even if we just keep it within a one-score game, which is what we've done all year long, even against incredible teams, I think you are proving to the rest of the world and proven to Sean Payton that this last month, yes, we took care of business against inferior teams, but we can hang with it with the best teams as well. Let's surround Bo Nix with some talent. There's the report on Harbaugh being interested as well. The reason I think that this is a win for the Denver Broncos this week is that I think we have all of the confidence, the wind at our back right now. We have already proved to this ourselves internally that we can go on the road. We can go to the East Coast in those early time slots and get wins against teams that we have no business getting wins against, according to the national media, that we were multiple score underdogs in both the Tampa Bay game and the New York Jets game. And so I think this isn't anything new. It's not like we have to do something we haven't done before. We've already proved to ourselves that we can win on the road, we can win as underdogs, and we can really shock the world. And our defense is really top 10 in every single category that truly matters. And I think that's going to be hard for the Baltimore Ravens to score against us. And Bo Nix is going to go out and just have more of the playbook open to him. He has the confidence of this past month. He has the confidence of, hey, they all laughed at the Broncos for drafting me, but now I'm the AFC Offensive Rookie of the Month. And I just think that's a fantastic thing for us. I also think the Baltimore Ravens pass defense has been truly atrocious, that if you take a look at the actual numbers here, where is it right here? I think there's only one team in the NFL that has allowed more than 3 touchdowns on them in more games than the Baltimore Ravens, and that's the team that we mollywopped last week. So I think this is a great matchup. And then I know Lamar Jackson is terrifying when he is able to play the system that he wants, and that is when there's a threat that he can hand the ball off and he's got short yardage and Derrick Henry is doing his thing and the running game is working. He's a terrifying player, but when you make him a strictly drop-back passer, and because you've taken the run away, which is a big ask now that we're playing against Derrick Henry, Broncos have also played Derrick Henry very well when he was with the Titans. He is not an impressive pure pocket passer, and I would say the same thing about Brock Purdy, that when Brock Purdy has Christian McCaffrey, and you know that play-action pass is a real nightmare for teams to match up against, Brock Purdy can throw dimes all over the place, but if you make Brock Purdy throw the ball 40 times in a game, he is going to be way less effective, and that's exactly what I see happening this week. And truly, when you look at just Lamar Jackson as just a passer, and this is taking away his biggest stat, which is his ability to run and all of that, he is very similar to what Russell Wilson does, and we know the Broncos moved on from Russell Wilson because he just was not good enough. So this is a great matchup, a great time for us to prove to the world that we are here and we are legit, and we have a ton to Bo-LIEVE in. I got the Broncos winning by at least 3 points. I kind of have this weird feeling that we win by over 7 points, but let me know, what is your final score prediction? Drop it in the comments, and we have a ton to Bo-LIEVE in. And I can't leave this up to chance, so I'm just going to... No doubt.